All right, I've tried to put together this video a few times, so I'm just going to talk, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported me over the past few days and also provide an update to the situation with the NHL I've been dealing with. For those who aren't aware, 2 days ago I posted a video about how my channel and how other hockey channels are having our livelihoods threatened because of what I see as overzealous copyright protection by the NHL. I won't repeat myself too much in this video, so check out that one, at least if you're interested in the full backstory. Also, a lot of comments enjoying the Halo gameplay. That will not be something regularly a part of the channel. However, it's coming back for this video. So, like I said, thank you, an update, and response to some questions. Let's get started. And I do want to say thank you to everyone who helped amplify and signal boost not just my prior video, but the video of other content creators and our message generally. As of the time I'm recording this, the initial video is sitting at nearly 170,000 views with over 11,000 likes, 99%. So thank you for all the support. And I also really appreciate all the people who have reached out. I have not been able to respond to every message, but I've read every single one. In particular, though, I really appreciate the other hockey creators who are paying attention to the message and who are offering their support. It's so easy to look at a problem which doesn't affect you and continue about your business. But so many of my favorite creators commented on the other video or shared my tweets. CoachJeremy, Urinating Tree, they left comments. The Hockey Guy did a good breakdown on how copyright works on YouTube as well. 2BC Productions today also put out an excellent video covering the situation, which to me was wild because I've been watching his content for over a decade now. I'll link to his channel in the description. But just generally, as someone who's sort of new to the hockey media landscape and who's definitely an outsider, like I look at my content, I'm not great at evaluating players. I don't really break down systems in any sort of advanced way. I don't even have a very good memory. I don't catch every game. I'm just a dude who talks about hockey as if I was discussing it with my friends. So it's been very nice to feel the support and the appreciation. I know sometimes I've got to do better, and I'm always working on that. But without the support and the community, it would not be worth it. So yeah, in general, thanks. And also a shout out to the other channels like mine who are going through this right now. Johnny Hockey, Hockey Psychology, Next Man Up. There are many others as well. But let's talk about the update and what's going on. So I think it's useful to just restate a bit of the events which led up to me making the video. Getting copyright claimed for NHL footage on YouTube is not new, nor is it unexpected, but typically copyright claims were relatively rare, and you could usually appease the NHL by using less and more infrequent footage. What I typically do is upload my video, leave it unlisted, let the NHL run its checks, and then if everything passed, I'd put it live. Now, occasionally they'd come back and claim a video later, but it was rare. Things started changing about 2 weeks ago when it was obvious someone was going through and manually claiming videos, or at least that's what it appeared like, because there was no evidence of this being an automatic thing. Like, there was no reference footage uploaded. It was just the NHL is making claims against your channel. And that sort of came to a head the day I made the upload. I think I had about 60 videos claimed. Hockey Psychology and Johnny Hockey, same thing. Our entire backlog was basically being combed through. And in Hockey Psychology's case, it seemed like some of his videos were even being taken down, not just demonetized. In terms of updates, the big one was that the day after I made my video, there was some rumbling that the copyright claims were due to a mistake on the NHL's part. They messed something up in their system. They were being way more stringent with the copyright claims than they intended. It was a problem which would be fixed. That was what I hoped, and I spoke to the source of this, who I'm not going to reveal, although I know he's posted publicly, I'm just not going to. And while I want to believe that this is a big oopsie which has been fixed by the NHL, I just don't. For one, this wasn't one day of content claiming. As I stated, even the new style of copyright claims began days, if not weeks earlier. What's more, none of my videos, even the ones I've appealed, have been released, which is kind of what you'd expect. Some of you know this, some of you don't. I've got other YouTube channels. I've got a much larger one than this, in fact, and I've dealt with copyright systems running haywire before. And when you do get auto-claimed, what you typically see is hundreds of claims coming in a day, and then they're instantly released, like to the point where your phone, if you've got notifications on, becomes unusable. The other bit of evidence for me is that, well, it's not stopped. I got a copyright claim today on my Tony D'Angelo video. Now, I'm actually not super worried about that because before that, I had 4 other videos which were not claimed, and the Tony D'Angelo one was a bit weird. I had to cut out KHL content for the same reason. So maybe the NHL thought my content generally there wasn't fair use. You know, they can have their revenue for that one. Fair enough. Either way, hopefully the issue is solved. I think a few of the creators have seen some of their claims released. I'm not necessarily convinced though. I really hope it is. And if that is the case, I do feel a little bad for the NHL getting so much flack because, like I said, you guys were loud. I had reporters reaching out to me. I gave an interview with Global News. The hockey subreddit had 800 plus comments on the thread about this. So if it was a genuine mistake, that sucks. But also, I'm just tired. Like, just generally, I'm tired of being at the whim of automated copyright systems on YouTube. And I just wish the NHL would work with us. I guess that was kind of my point of the other video. I believe what I'm doing is fair use. If I'm wrong, okay. The NHL can enforce their copyright claims, and given that I'm not going to fight them in court, I've got no desire to, they realistically can do what they want. That's how the copyright system is set up on YouTube. I'm not going to risk being sued by appealing their content all the way to the end, and this isn't my sole source of income, so I can just go away and do something else. What I wish, however, is that they recognize the value in partnerships with content creators. They realized how many views we're pushing, how we're keeping up interest, how channels like Hockey Psychology are really increasing people's understanding of hockey as a sport, which makes it more enjoyable to watch. I'd love to either license the content, work out some sort of partnership, or at least be in contact with the NHL, but so far, my requests, my communications have been one way. They've been completely ignored. I'd like to do things the proper way if there is a proper way, but so far that's not been a door which has been open to me. And this is the point where I'm going to address some of the comments you guys have sent because there are a ton. The first is, well, don't show the footage. And I understand where you're coming from. I really like the Hockey Guy's channel, for example, and he's smart. He doesn't give the NHL an in to demonetize his channel. That's just not really the type of content that I want to make. For one, I think he does a great job, and for two, I want to break down the plays, and there's a visual component to that which I think is necessary for the video. People have suggested AI or NHL video game content or using just images, and at that point, I think I diminish the content so much that I'd rather just focus on other things. If it does come down to that, like, we'll see about using images or something else, but I just don't think that's best for anyone. So yeah, I'll leave that at a we will see. As for alternate sources of monetization, that's something that I've looked into. For one, I take very, very few sponsors on this channel. I refuse to put sponsored content in short videos, and the majority of sponsor requests I get are for gambling ads. I will not do gambling ads on this channel. They offer you insane amounts of money, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, but it does mean sacrificing your audience, essentially. When you promote a gambling product, you're doing so knowing that you're trading money for the mental health, the financial well-being of your audience, especially those who are cursed, like I probably am, with addictive personalities. But something, less harmful, like a SeatGeek or a HelloFresh or whatever, that's definitely something I would be open to. If you are one of those sponsors, feel free to email me. And I do think more long videos on the channel could be good. And yeah, throw a sponsor on those occasionally. Why not? We put out a lot of videos. If you don't want to watch, it's pretty easy to skip. The other thing mentioned was some form of support from the community. First of all, I'm not looking for donations right now. I have considered something like a Patreon in the past, and the reason why I haven't pulled the trigger is honestly kind of due to that imposter syndrome I mentioned at the beginning. I don't know if I offer enough for a Patreon. I certainly don't have enough time for any unique rewards. Like I said, I see these videos as a guy talking to his buddies about hockey, with all the good and bad parts about that. I'm an extremely biased Rangers fan, and I cover the hell out of that team way more than any others. Same with the Oilers. That's just kind of the way it is, and it does feel weird to put a Patreon behind that, but maybe it's something I will consider, and maybe I think the big thing is I'll look into getting some merch set up. We could do some cool stickers, maybe some hockey stuff. Again, shoot me your emails, especially if you are a business or if you've got ideas. I read them all. You can find my email address in my channel somewhere. Okay, so while most of the feedback I got was positive, there were also some people which said, why don't you get a job? Or you are just stealing from the NHL, or others which just don't like the videos I make, and that's fine. If you genuinely think what I'm doing is completely against the principles of fair use or the NHL shouldn't allow it, I don't think I'm ever going to change your mind, and fair enough. We'll see how the NHL decides. But like, I also don't think it's necessary to email me and say like, get a real job, your clickbait sucks or whatever, which one person did do. Thankfully, I've been doing YouTube for 8 years. I'm quite used to mean comments. Anyway, the last bit of this message is to the NHL. Please just email me. Like, let's get on a phone call together. Someone from the NHL. If you don't want me making this content, all right. But I do think there is a lot that can be done to better the state of the game and the status of the game among young people. There's a reason why my videos, why Hockey Psychology's videos, why all of these other channels have exploded in popularity. It's because there's a massive hole when it comes to hockey content online. My friend, and probably my favorite hockey channel, Robert Greeley, absolute beauty. Check his channel out. A newfie who basically travels the world making hockey content messaged me and said, I looked into this fun fact. You've done more viewership in 3 years with 900 uploads than the Toronto Maple Leafs YouTube that's been up for 19 years and posted 11,000 times. I'm not doing anything special here. Imagine the type of content the NHL, with its vast repertoire of content and experts and money, could make. For too long, the NHL and other sports leagues also have approached online media as, let's just give them the same thing that we've been putting on TV. And that's just not how it should be. That's not how young people consume content, and it never will be again. You need to approach digital media with the respect it deserves. That means optimizing for your format. Did you know, and this is just an example, that over 50% of my viewers consume content on mobile phone or tablets? Have you ever wondered why my thumbnails are so basic? No text. Well, you gotta be able to see it on a little screen. And unlike TV, where you kind of gotta go with the programming, when someone turns on YouTube, they've got a million other things they can watch. And the competition isn't just hockey. The competition is other sports and everything else. So you gotta make your content with that in mind. You've gotta hit people with a hook early on, then you've gotta deliver. That doesn't mean you gotta make only Mr. Beast videos or only 30-second clips. Far from that, but the platform and the potential audience should affect how you make your work. Now, maybe this isn't a job for the NHL. Maybe this is for Sportsnet or TSN or whomever, but just imagine like my clip style videos with an actual NHL player breaking down what is happening on the ice when things fall apart. That would be so spectacular. There are about 30 million ex-NHL players who want to get into media and who want to do work. Imagine having a panel of 3 of them just looking at plays from the night, breaking them down, discussing them, but not in a way that's made for TV. You know, Sean Avery's done some stuff like that. There was another, I can't remember who it was. There was another player who was posting these excellent breakdowns on Twitter where they were looking deep into the system stuff that I can't even hope to understand. You know, Kurt Warner actually did that as well for the NFL. All you need really is the talent, which the NHL has, someone who knows how to optimize, and of course the money and the effort to do it on a nightly basis, which the NHL should be doing to grow the sport. And that is not really appropriate for the average TV audience because it's just too in-depth. But the benefits are so obvious. You can not only increase people's actual advanced knowledge of hockey as a sport, but also give people one thing they've been asking for, and that Spit and Chicklets has proven is highly desirable: hockey personalities. Anyway, I'm way rambling here, but I just think there's a lot of potential for the sport. I love hockey. I will always love hockey more than any other sport. It's ingrained in my childhood and culture in a way that is just really special. It's also genuinely, I think, the most exciting thing you can watch. So I want to see it succeed, and I also would like to continue being a part of it. So that's the update. In short, things might be better. They might not be. I'm not positive. But also, thanks to everyone. Too many other channels to mention, but besides the ones I touched on briefly, Rob Talks Hockey, Hockey Junkie, you guys probably know them, and you can let me know your favorite creators down below. But that's all I've got. See you soon.